This PSA was brought to you by the Peter G Show.
You may have second thoughts after the show.
Don't drink the faucet.
We're really talented. We should get Oscars.
Just pick out a car, for Christ's sake.
No, hi, my name is Peter.
Yeah, I want.
Here's good.
Yeah.
Adam Perry.
I need to get back in the genie bottle.
Louis from Pennsylvania, you're on.
He likes it.
It's showtime.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad, Peter G Show.
Oh yeah, it's showtime Wednesday night. Been a minute. Had a little downtime. Back in the saddle. How the hell is everybody? Looks like we made it. It's a beautiful fall day / going into the evening tonight. Hope everybody's doing well. Life of Peter G, the Peter G Show, right here every Wednesday, almost every Wednesday. We had a little break, ran a rerun here. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. Every Wednesday, like clockwork, though, one way or the other, God willing. 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, and 9 p.m. on the East Coast, right here, live. Catch all that stuff on demand afterwards. We got a lot going on, some good stuff, especially tonight. Might ruffle a few feathers, but it's education night. That's right. I have Defender of the Republic on tonight. She is smart. She is pretty. She is on this show tonight. It's a great combination. Makes you want to pay attention. But, you know, not everybody has the same thoughts, but we just run some things by, and that's for you to decide. But she's going to be on this show, and she loves this country, and she is not afraid to tell you about it and talk about it, and that's what I dig about her. So I finally got her on, and it was no easy task. Chased her for months. Finally, got her attention. Over here. Hey, because she's highly sought after, and rightfully so. Anyway, she's going to be coming on in a few minutes. Let's talk about next week. I always like to tell you that so you can get ready. Start prepping. Go take off from work. Tell your boss you're not going to make it in, whatever you want to tell them. Next Wednesday, October 19th, I'm going to have Patricia Fuqua on. Professional matchmaker and love coach. And she likes to teach this stuff to the over 30 and high achievers. And we got Pepsi. He's high. I don't know much about an achiever, though, but he's high. So I'm going to find out if he qualifies. Anyway, she's going to be on. You know, we as the holidays are rolling around, I like to talk about relationships and things like that because it's important. I mean, everybody wants to be in a relationship, a successful relationship. It's sometimes easier said than done. And sometimes you just need a little help. We had, you know, life coaches on, not too long ago and things like that. Every little bit helps. There's times when you will be able to say, I did not know that. So that's a good thing. All right. So that's Wednesday, October 19th. Coming up next week. Patricia Fuqua, professional matchmaker and love coach, going to be on this show. I like talking about that stuff once in a while. Don't forget, speaking of talking about stuff, if you're too busy, I love the people who watch the show. I do. But I also appreciate the ones who take the time when they're in the car and they want to listen to the Peter G Show on the go. Just Google Peter G Show podcast. We're on 25 different platforms. You can take the show on the go, put an earbud in your ear, and take it with you and listen to the show. I think watching is a little more effective at times, but it's still all good. And we have, there's almost 300 shows. So you can get them all on demand, and they're free. So who can argue with that? Good stuff. Damn exciting stuff. Just Google Peter G Show podcast. All right, what else I got going? Otherwise, I want to bring Pepsi in because he's been MIA for a while. We both have. We had stuff to do. But sure, I guess I'll bring him in. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for, the Ringling Brothers, Dingling brother, my friend and yours.
Wednesday. Free.
Yeah, coming at you.
Yeah, great to see you. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm about as good as you are, only different.
Well, you know how it goes. Anyway,
Yeah.
great to see you. Great to see you. Really excited about tonight, huh?
I think tonight's going to be up your alley too, but
Sure.
I'm sure there's going to be a few people that just won't understand. But you know what? We try. We just put out some information. Hey, listen, because we were off the past couple of weeks, Florida had a hurricane about a week and a half ago. Are you aware of that, living in your bubble world?
Yeah, unfortunately, I am aware of that. We had a haboob in the desert, but anyway, that's another story for a different day.
I know, but don't put yourself down like that. I mean, it's okay.
Nah, I said a haboob, not a habooby.
Yeah, whatever. I thought you were just shortening the phrase. They go, yeah, there goes like a doozy, man, in the desert. Headland, what is that? It's a bird. It's a plane. So there was. We had the hurricane in Florida, and apparently, I got this video clip. Apparently, Hurricane Ian tried to warn Florida that he was coming. I tell no lie. This was hurricane, but the true professionals that they are in Florida. I want to play you this clip. This is what happened. So this is what went down. Yeah, what happened? This is right. Where the hell is he? He's supposed to be on here. Okay, so check out this clip. Here you go. This is Hurricane Ian warning Florida that he's going to be coming to hit them in Florida. And here's what Florida had to say about it.
I will soon arrive in Florida. Okay, and? Wait, what? Bitch, we're Florida. We ain't afraid of no hurricane. Our entire lives are spent almost dying, bitch. Do you know how many rides malfunction in Disney World? Do you, bitch? Hey, I'm not just some run-of-the-mill hurricane. This is serious. Oh, yeah? What's your name, fella? Ian. Bitch, he really said Ian. My name is Ian. Would you like to go to an Imagine Dragons concert? Oh my god, bitch, I can't. No one named Ian knows how to drive a stick shift, and that is a scientific fact. Like, bitch, they naming hurricanes after virgins now? Yeah, just laugh it up. We'll see who's laughing later. It'll still be us, bitch. Bitch, I'll tell you what. Hey, Waffle House, do we need to worry about this hurricane? Bitch, there's a hurricane? Bitch, Waffle House didn't even know about you! You guys are a bunch of jerks! Bitch, he gonna cry in the car!
Oh, my goodness.
That's what Florida thought about Hurricane Ian. They told him, if Waffle House don't know about it, ain't nobody knows. Waffle House don't close.
Those poor people, though. Really,
that is true.
I mean, really, some of those areas are just decimated, from what I understand. I almost went out there. I almost volunteered and went out there to respond, but I had other things that I was called into the field to do.
Yes.
Anyway, So our love and compassion is with those people, and we certainly hope that everything that they're okay.
Yeah, I heard that you were on your way over there and you stepped on a pop top and blew out your flip flop.
Well, what happened was my blender broke down.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, listen. So right now I'm gonna get ready. We're gonna bring Defender of the Republic in, aka and I was informed that I'm the only one who calls her Defender Girl, but I don't know. I hope it's an affectionately because again, it's like, to me, Batgirl, Elastigirl, and I just thought Defender Girl because she's Defender of the Republic.
That's great. I mean, that's great. And by the way, speaking of things that you do not know, did you know that yesterday was You Go Girl Day? And
really?
yes, yesterday was You Go Girl Day. And so
Well-
I'm really excited because this is going to be a great show. She's great. I've seen some of her stuff, and yeah, it's going to be good.
We played clips of her in the past. So again, hey, you go, girl.
Hey. Okay. All right.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a little intro clip because this is how I originally found her, and then I'm going to bring her in. And I'll drink to that.
Mm-hmm. Here's to you. Break a leg.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then you commence to doing whatever the hell it is you do.
Yeah, you know what it is I do.
Well, yeah, I know.
I got to do this.
You got to do that.
Yeah, I got to punch buttons.
Punch buttons. Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. We're oh shit, man. Okay, whatever. I was gonna say I know exactly what the hell you do, and people don't know, and people don't want to know. But it's all good. Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna bring her in. So you guys sit tight. All right. We'll get back. Have a nice day. Oh boy. Yep. I just cut him off. Anyway, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play a little intro clip so you can kind of get acquainted with Defender of the Republic. And this is how I found her. And again, I like her a lot because I think that she's got her brain on straight and she doesn't just say things. She does a lot of work finding out about things. And, you know, it's educational because we all are on different pages in our lives. And, you know, there's a lot of things that are upside down. And she's proud of her country and she's not afraid to talk about it. And whether you agree or disagree is another story, but at least listen. This is what problems we have. Nobody wants to listen. They just bark and then take off. But check this out, and I'll be back to you, and we'll bring her on in. All right. So here you go.
I never dreamed that I would have to face the prospect of not living in the United States of America. At least not the one I've known all my life. I've never wished to live anywhere else. This is my home, and I was privileged to be born here. But today I woke up, and as I had my morning coffee, I realized that everything is about to change. No matter how I vote, no matter what. I say something evil has invaded our nation, and our lives are never going to be the same. I've been confused by the hostility of family and friends. I look at people I've known all my life, so hate-filled that they agree with opinions they would never express as their own. I think I may have, entered the twilight zone. We become a nation that has lost its collective mind. You can't justify this insanity. If a guy pretends to be a woman, you're required to pretend with him. Somehow, it's un-American for the census to count how many Americans are in America. Russians influencing our elections are bad, but illegals voting in our elections are good. It was cool for Joe Biden to blackmail the president of Ukraine, but it's an impeachable offense if Donald Trump inquires about it. 20 is too young to drink a beer, but 18 is old enough to vote. People who have never owned slaves should pay slavery reparations to people who have never been slaves. People who have never been to college should pay the debts of college students who took out huge loans for their degrees. Immigrants with tuberculosis and polio are welcome, but you'd better be able to prove your dog is vaccinated. Irish doctors and German engineers who want to immigrate to the U.S. must go through a rigorous vetting process, but any illiterate gangbangers who jump the southern fence are welcome. $5 billion for border security is too expensive, but $1.5 trillion for free healthcare is not. If you cheat to get into college, you go to prison, but if you cheat to get into the country, you go to college for free. People who say there is no such thing as gender are demanding a female president. We see other countries going socialist and collapsing, but it seems like a great plan to us. Some people are held responsible for things that happened before they were born, and other people are not held responsible for what they're doing right now. Criminals are caught and released to hurt more people, but stopping them is bad because it's a violation of their rights. And pointing out all this hypocrisy somehow makes us racist. Nothing makes sense anymore. No values, no morals, and no civility. People are dying of a Chinese virus, but it's racist to refer to it as Chinese even though it began in China. We're clearly living in an upside-down world where right is wrong and wrong is right, where moral is immoral and immoral is moral, where good is evil and evil is good, where killing murderers is wrong, but killing unborn babies is A-okay. Wake up, America. The great unsinkable ship, Titanic America, has hit an iceberg, is taking on water, and is sinking fast. Speak up.
That's right. And here she is getting ready to speak up, my new friend, and I hope I get to see her and hear from her quite often because she's got great stuff to talk about. Defender of the Republic. Hey.
Hi, Peter. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, I want to thank you for coming on, and I want to tell everybody that it has not been easy getting a hold of you. I have been trying to get your attention for months prior to us booking this show, which we booked it months ago, but I had been working on trying to, get your attention because I didn't know how to get a hold of you for about 4 or 5 months.
I heard, actually, one of your listeners was the one that actually got my attention. They were like, go on Peter's show. I was like, what?
There you go. Because you're popular and a lot of people, and so you get a lot of comments. And I didn't know how to get a hold of you, and it's not like I can contact the TV station or something. And so I just kept on making comments. I mean, daily, repeatedly. And then you finally got back to me and said, "Boy, you're really persistent." It's like, sorry.
I love it. By the way, you're the only one that's allowed to call me Defender Girl. That's just me and you.
Aww. Yeah. I just think, honestly, I could see you in a spandex suit, kind of like I'm honestly, I'll.
Is it late enough for that kind of show?
No, well, hey, it's never too late, But I mean, look, I already envisioned it. I'm going to ask Pepsi. Pepsi can get it in my budget. I'll take it out of my pay, whatever. Kind of like a Spider-Man suit, but with a Superman type thing. But it says DG, and just like a raccoon mask.
I love it.
That'd be a great gimmick. I mean, because you're just out there doing it, but on top of that, it would be that heroic character kind of vibe. That's a good logo. But
that would be cool. That would be cool.
I see it's all right here. It's all right here.
Somebody go call Marvel. Let's see if they'll get me on there.
There you go. This might be the start of something new, Defender Girl. Because you tell Pepsi you got Batgirl, you got Elastigirl, and all that kind of stuff. And so why not Defender Girl? That's a great name.
Thank you.
Anyway, let's get serious here. You have become very, very vocal about what's going on in our nation, our elections, our health, the other countries in the world. I mean, let's face it, we got a lot going on, and there's a lot of division and a lot of people that are arguing amongst ourselves, and it's really sad. And you're out there really blowing it up, bringing the facts, whether people want to like it or not. I think you're very well spoken. That was a big deal. I go, wow, she's easy on the eyes and she's well spoken. Good combination, because people will watch. Guys, whatever, girls. I mean, you have something to say. You're not just twirling your hair and kind of just saying what you feel.
Absolutely.
So I found you and I go, wow, especially like that last video clip. I was blown away. I used that in one of my shows because every end of the month we do current events.
Right.
And I used that to go to like throw that out there to people because you had a lot of good stuff to say.
Thank you.
How long you been doing this? Why you doing this? And how's it going for you?
It's a very interesting story, and I actually put a YouTube video out about it because a lot of people did ask that question. So it actually started during the summer of love in 2020. Is that what they call it? The George Floyd summer. So it was right before the elections, and I grew up in Jersey City, so it's like the melting pot of New Jersey. You've got every type of nationality there, right? And one of my friends asked, who are you voting for? Right? We never talked about politics ever. That seems to be the new thing, is that made people want to talk about politics. And when I told them who I was voting for, you would have thought I told them I was going to do something bad to them. The reaction was incredible. So it really made me think, and I was like, why are these people so passionate about hating this man? And I will tell you this, Peter, when Trump first got into office, and it's so bad. I don't know if you noticed my hesitation. I'm almost afraid to say his name. It's so bad. So when Trump first got into office, I was not a Trump supporter. And I'm the type of person, you've got to prove yourself to me before I like you. And I didn't vote in that election because I didn't like him. I didn't like Hillary. But then he proved himself. And, I had a friend of mine, actually my boss at the time, was talking to me a lot about politics and said, Katie, like, how do you not like this guy? You've got to like him. And he'd call his brother and he'd try to keep me up to date on current events. And finally, I'm like, he is pretty good. He's a really good president. That is kind of what got me there. But then realizing that the media took my friends from me, losing one, then two, then three, then four. That's what made me vocal, and seeing what was happening in the world and being a mother, having two girls who are going to grow up in a future that is like this, that is not okay with me. So I have to do everything that I can to bring awareness to people who don't want to see what's really going on.
Believe me, I understand the children part because that's my biggest fear too. But I hear what you're saying, but getting people to understand, because I too, only maybe less than 10 years ago, had no clue what was going on. I was just living, and would never believe, why would anybody want to destroy our own country and things like that. And even my father, I mean, I grew up in the East Coast when I was younger, and most people over there grew up Democrat, the working class people. And all I can say is that's not the same beliefs and party that we're having right now. And I can give a shit about Republican or Democrat, but unfortunately you have to choose one of the lesser evils. And let me tell you, if the Republicans were doing what's going on the Democratic side right now, I would switch in a heartbeat again, because I don't care which one. Because I tell you, in both parties, there's a bunch of people that got to go. I mean, they're just two-faced son of a bitches, career politicians, and it sucks. But the thing was, my show never was a political show. But 2 years ago, things got so bad that I jumped into the arena periodically, because I felt it was my civic duty to try to enlighten people to find out just the same way I found out.
Agreed.
That it's really not what you think it is, even though they're telling you that. And why would they lie to you? They just do.
That's the issue, Peter, is that most people believe that because it's political, it's Democrat versus Republican. We're beyond that. And I think the problem is that people aren't seeing it that way. It's good versus evil. That's really what it is. And once you start to dive into how much they've lied to us, you start to see the world very, very differently. It has nothing to do with Democrat versus Republican. There are really bad Republicans out there. And that's where the difference is. And I think that's what I want people to see. I want them to see that this is coming from a girl who grew up thinking that, hey, being a Democrat means that you care about people and Republicans only want money. That is literally what I was taught, or what I thought was the right thing. I care about people. Of course I'm a Democrat, right? That's literally how I thought. And I think a lot of people think that way. They look at Republicans as though, that they just, they care about themselves. And that's really not reality. We have to start looking at the entirety of humanity as people. Has nothing to do with which party you associate with.
I think that you're right, because when I was growing up, I thought Republicans was for the rich. And I think the ideology has changed. I mean, our Democrats, and again, I hate saying that word, Democrats and Republicans, but there's two teams that we have, unfortunately. And they both, I truly believe they both work for the same team, way in the background. But unfortunately, we're led to believe there's two teams to keep us divided. But they've just gone so far. It's just crazy. Whenever somebody looks at me and tells me how well the country is doing right now, I just am in awe. And I love a lot of my friends, and I don't want to lose them, but they will cut me off. And if they do, shame on them. But I just don't see how you see it when we're having the worst time ever. And yet they still, no matter what, it's like, it doesn't matter. Anything but Trump.
That's the problem. And I'm not giving up on people. I will tell you, I have some diehard left Democrat friends, people that I love. I'm not giving up on them, because I know there's going to come a time where they're going to come to me and say, Katie, you were right. Please explain everything, because I want to know what the heck just happened. And that's why I'm here. I want to be here for them, because they're going to need to know.
Well, that's the thing, because even when Obama was in office, I thought maybe it's a good thing. I mean, he had a good personality. So he made things sound smooth and things like that, even though there was other things going on in the background. I didn't believe it. And some of my closer friends were going, man, there's things go, really? And when we didn't talk about it, we just let it go because we just didn't want to get into that. But there really is a lot of stuff going on. And now the media used to be, the American news was one of the, at least you could trust the American news to a certain extent. We weren't in Iran, to state television feeding you only what they want to tell you, which is a whole other issue they got going on right now. Nobody's saying a word. I'm going to talk about that at the end of the month with their freedom. But the thing it's like all of a sudden we've turned into a just giant bullshit machine.
Yeah.
It's nothing but lies on TV. I don't believe anything. Even the news station that I may favor, I still don't believe. I watch them flip flop.
What's interesting though, Peter, is when you really start waking up to what's happening, you'll notice that they give you little nuggets about this. And interestingly, someone I work with was telling me a story about a Netflix series she watched about North Korea, where they show propaganda to the people. So they'll show Kim Jong-un like sending, these missiles, and we know they're not hitting anywhere, but on their television, they're showing these people that they're landing and that they're winning these wars. And if you think about it, that's kind of what's happening here, is that television, there's a reason why it's called television, because they're telling us what to think, what to believe. That's really what's been happening for a very long time, and people just are afraid to know the truth.
Yeah, well, I let's talk about a few topics, because there's things that, I mean, we could go on all night. There's so many things going on, but there is. But let's go back a little bit. The border is out of control. Nobody's paying attention to it. DeSantis over in Florida, God bless him, sends 50 people over to the rich section,
They
and
lost
they have
their
a
minds.
they have a hissy fit. Exactly, when thousands and thousands are coming through every day, through the border and dying too, and the cartels. What's your whole? I mean, people just don't get it because it's not affecting them yet.
But that's the issue, is that everything that happens, and there's actually the very first video that went viral that I posted was called "What If Trump?" Because, and it's funny, I had newly had my second daughter. She was probably a few months old, and I'm watching TV. My first mistake, but I'm watching TV and I'm just like, what if Trump did that? What if Trump did that? What if Trump did that? So I'm putting her to sleep, and I'm like, you know what? And I started writing, and that was like one of my first videos. And now I find myself still saying it, because what if Trump did that? These people I'm more concerned not just about the number of people that are coming over and the guns that they're bringing, and the fact that they're emptying their jails and letting criminals into the country. And again, and it's not that it's only criminals that are being allowed into the country, but they're trafficking children. If there are videos all over the place that you're not allowed to share on normal social media that shows them drugging children that don't belong to them and bringing them across. And then the other problem is that the drug problem, the fentanyl. People have no idea how bad this fentanyl problem is, and it's only going to get worse, and it's going to affect so many people, and that's my fear.
I think it's affecting the fentanyl thing. Over 300 people a day die from fentanyl accidental poisoning. I think almost everybody nowadays has somebody or knows somebody who's lost somebody, a child, or to fentanyl accidental poison. I mean, I do. I can count on almost my whole handful of people that I've known that already, good people, not even bad people.
And the accidental, they're now making fentanyl look like candy, which is scary. Halloween right around the corner. You get one bad guy and you're in
just
trouble.
talked about that today. Can't trust nothing. I said, back in my day, we were worried about razor blades and apples.
Yeah, I remember that. You gotta check the candy.
But that's the thing. It's like now, it's like you don't want to go nowhere and get something you just don't know. It's that crazy, and people are there. We live in a nut society, but the border again, it's trashing, it's killing, putting so much weight on our border and our border towns and those people that live in those towns, the crime, the trash, the death, the drugs, the coyotes, the cartels. Right. They're making a mint, and they just don't say anything about it. Just ignore it.
Trump was racist for addressing that problem, right? That's unbelievable.
Again, I think he had his hands tied to a certain extent on a lot of things too, but he still said, I'm going, and he pushed it to as far as he could push it before getting clamped down or shot, one or the other. Kennedy tried to be a good president, and you saw how far that got him.
I know.
They just weren't having it, but we're in a different age and time now, but people just get pissed off. They just, I think the biggest problem was, okay, Trump was harsh, but he got shit done as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry. My father was a dedicated Democrat, and his mouth dropped when Hillary lost.
Yeah.
And I cried. Because he still believed in, he was getting old, and he still believed in the Democratic thing. Months later, I heard him telling somebody, he says, You don't understand. He says, but he's going to be good for this country. He switched. He started thinking and learning and found out, and he switched. And he said, it doesn't matter anymore. It's
Put yourself in that man's shoes, knowing what he knew, how patient he had to be. Because I just woke up really in 2020, and I'm like, I can't imagine knowing all of these things, and people look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm just like, I'm telling you, just read this, look at this, let me show you the evidence. You've got to have the patience of a saint to be able to sit through a conversation knowing that these people have no idea what they're talking about. And it's so tough, and that's why I try to deliver it in ways that make sense to people.
Well, Pepsi's asking, the media is they're brainwashing the people, and what do you take with that?
They have been for years. I mean, it's funny. I don't know if you saw this, but Elon Musk put out a poll about Ukraine recently on Twitter. Did you see that?
Not sure. Tell me about it, because it's been a busy couple of weeks.
Well, he put out a poll asking, how to fix the situation in Ukraine. He had people voting on, what they thought the right method was. But then the media, I think it was like Vox or something, like it's some crazy media outlet, put out a news story saying that, well, Elon put that poll out because he spoke with Putin. And Elon's like, he responded to it and said, I had never spoke to Putin about this. I have no idea where this came from, because someone asked him. And that's the problem, is that they can put out whatever stories they want and say anything that they want to say. But when people like us put out the truth, it gets washed away. The censorship is just incredible, which is why all of my names on social media have changed over and over and over, because I keep trying to come back. There's so many words I can't say, which is why I hesitated when I said Trump's name, because I know that there is a 50-50 chance that they're going to take my video down for saying it.
Believe me, when I was sharing with you on Instagram, every time I was going to share, it asked me, do I really want to share with you because you're a troublemaker?
Well, I've always been a troublemaker.
Well, I know, but just a good troublemaker, you know what I mean? Let's talk about Ukraine, because, I got a lot of people, and again, that I love to death. And they're like, they feel for Ukraine. I feel for the Ukrainian people because they're caught in the middle of it. But this is a sham as far as I'm concerned. The United States is no real nice. They're not real. There's some sinister stuff going on, and it ain't about helping the Ukrainian people. They got their own agenda, this whole thing. What do you think?
I have so much to say on this. I'll try not to be long-winded, but I will say I've never been an international expert whatsoever. So I had to do hours of research to really understand, because the Ukraine-Russia situation is so much for people. There are people on the right and left, whoever you mention it to, they get triggered by certain things, and they don't want to believe. I mean, think about growing up, how Putin was portrayed to you. He's the bad guy, right? So now, if I say anything against that narrative, people don't want to hear it. So when I started doing my research, I actually put a video out about this everywhere, maybe yesterday, the day before. So one of the things I found was an article from 2021 that talked about the fact that Russia went to the UN and put in a resolution saying, hey, there's really a major Nazi problem in Ukraine. Because there's so many Russians in Ukraine, we have an issue there. Our people are suffering. We would like to address this problem, which is what the UN is there for, right? When the UN was established, it was because it was at the end of World War II. They wanted to ensure that Nazism never came back. That's why they put this together. So they went to the UN, they put in the resolution so everyone voted. 130 nations voted, yes, we need to handle that problem before it gets bigger. 49 nations said they abstained, they didn't vote. And only 2 said no, they don't want to address it. Do you know what 2 countries they were?
Surprise us.
Ukraine, obviously,
yeah.
And the US.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. So those 2 countries said no. And then when they asked the representative from the United States, why did you vote no? He said, we don't condone Nazism. However, our First Amendment allows for freedom of expression. When I read that,
I was like, wait, what? Is this the same country that just called us all terrorists and extremists? It's insane.
There's no doubt that there's a lot of money to be made in war. When the Bushes, again, the Republicans, I was totally against that, with the weapons of mass destruction. They made Halliburton and all those Cheneys and all, they made a lot of money selling war stuff for war.
Every war is about money, always.
Yeah.
Money, assets, all of it.
We have given a ton of money to them, and none of it's accountable. They don't know where it went, where it goes. And again, I feel bad for the Ukrainian people. I really do. They're caught in the middle of this, but there's some shady stuff going on from, unfortunately, a big portion of the United States. They don't want I think Putin, he is crazy. But the thing is, he does not want new world order and all this, the Bitcoin and digital currency and all that. I can't blame him. So, so they make waves and they want to overthrow that government, and we're doing it through them, or trying to, which could cost us all our lives, nuclear wise.
Well, who decided the World Economic Forum was going to decide what direction the world was going in? So that's our biggest problem.
Well, apparently the World Economic Forum is the one who decides whatever they want to decide, and we lost our say so, because everybody's just sitting back. As Pep said, why is nobody willing? People are just getting a bit. They take the first two paragraphs from a news station. There's people that still love CNN and all this shit, and they take it and like, okay, they just told us, so that's it, and nobody's willing to find out to back it up.
Have you seen how much the ratings have dropped for CNN? I mean, they've gotten rid of all of their major anchors, and there's a reason, because people are done. They're done with the narrative.
Well, the drug companies own all the media stations. I mean, you see nothing but drug commercials, and this is
Brought
funny
to you
because
by the company I can't tell you.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to say that word too.
Well, so several years ago, I did this little thing. I was on a tour bus because I was in the music industry, and we were parked on Virginia Beach, like on the boardwalk, and it was right after Hurricane. Shit, I can't remember what it was. It was I don't know, one of these hurricanes, another one. And when I gave a little tour of the tour bus, and when I walked into the tour bus, CNN was on because they were covering this hurricane. I think it was in New Orleans. Whichever the last one that hit New Orleans like 10 years ago, whatever it was, 12 years ago. Katrina, possibly. It was like 2006, 7, something like that. So I said I'd play it because it's a cute little video. And somebody goes, see, you're watching CNN. And it's like 2000 something. It happened to be on, and I did believe in CNN way back then, but I don't anymore.
I use it to study now. What do they want us to think?
It's bullshit. I mean, it really is. All of them. They all just. I had a news anchor on my show a couple of years ago. She was on LA news anchor. Her name is Sharon Tay, and she was been on for 25 years. And I asked her, I said, do you believe the news that you're reading is true? And she said, oh, absolutely. And I go, really? And she says, we have to, or we'll get sued or something like that. That shit's over with. Nobody cares. They just say whatever they want to say. There's no repercussions.
Well, look at Carrie Lake. She left a career in media because she just couldn't take it anymore. She saw exactly what was going on, and now she's going to be the governor of Arizona. So there's that, there's so many out there. And I don't know if you remember the story about, again, another topic they don't like us to talk about, but there was the news anchor who was caught on Hot Mic talking about the Epstein story, pissed off. She was like, I knew this story 4 years ago and they wouldn't let me talk about it. And then it got released and she was so angry. But think about how many things they're not allowed to talk about, and they've just got to shut up and say what we want you to say.
To keep their jobs.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think the worst job in the world is secretary to press. To sit there and at the White House, to sit there and lie one lie after that, Jen Psaki and all that. How can you live with yourself just completely talking lies and just walking away feeling good about yourself?
Well, they make big bucks for it, I would assume, in the back end. I mean, you could and that's the issue, right? A lot of these people make a lot of money in the background to do what they're told to do.
I know, but I couldn't live with myself. I mean, you could
Well,
still make a good bit of money, and the fact that I feel like a lot of these politicians and all that are making these deals and sinking our ship, as you put the Titanic is sinking, and it's like, why would do you hate your I mean, the people that have families and all that, they're all going to live here and be involved. I mean, and we're killing our country. In California, it's like Newsom is just killing us. And now he's putting a grip. He wants all electric cars in 13 years. It's like, screw you. They don't work. The infrastructure doesn't work. It's never going to work. We're using up more, mining and more energy to make this stuff happen. I've done shows on this stuff, but I don't know who's listening. The concept is good. But yet, then again, the concept of Black Lives Matter was good too, except nobody paid attention to all the money was being stolen by the heads of Black Lives Matter, and they did absolutely nothing for Black lives.
right. Well, when it comes to the electric vehicles, there's a lot to uncover there. But who gets paid? Where does the money go if we move to electric vehicles? Do you know the story about the cobalt mines? Right, there was one cobalt mine that was owned by an American company, one left, and take a guess as to who sold that mine out from under the Americans to the Chinese. Do you know?
No, I do not know.
It's quiz time. Do you
Okay.
have music for a quiz? For the quiz music?
Yeah,
I'm putting you on the spot.
we got music going on right now.
Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden was the person that sold that cobalt mine to China, and now his father is our president.
There you go.
Puppy.
And nobody says nothing. I mean, we can go into all that because now they're starting to wake up a little bit with that and start paying attention. But everybody just doesn't care. Again, that what if video, I'm going to close out with that what if video because it's very true. If any of this stuff happened on Trump's watch and his family, all that, they would have been screaming at the top of top of the mountains.
Well, it's funny. I mean, I know you're going to play it later, but the what if video, I made that almost 2 years ago. And it's crazy that we still don't have answers to a lot of the questions it's a questions video too that I did. But yeah, we still don't have answers. What's crazy is that, Joe Biden doesn't have to answer to anything. He can just walk away. Again, what if Trump did that? It's insane. And the other issue is, again, I know you just mentioned about why people don't do their research. It's hard to do research. And it's easier for people just to go about their business. And the other problem is that people don't, and I'm sorry about the shaking, my daughter is in front of me jumping up and down. So I apologize.
Nice.
Jordan, you gotta go to bed, baby. Sorry about that. So the issue is, people don't want to believe that people can do such evil things. They don't want to believe it. And so even if they start to dig and see those things happening, they run away from it.
Wow. Well, it is hard for people to believe that. It was hard for me to believe that. And then little by little, I started because you just can't imagine why you'd want to self-destruct something you love. What and for the love of money, how much money do you need? But apparently it's endless and there's a lot of crap going on. I would have loved to have had you on, but we couldn't make the date. It ends up that next month, the day after the elections, will be a show, and then I get to talk about what's going on with the elections. But let's talk about the elections right now. I mean, I feel like we're a month away, and I'm really worried. It's like, what kind of destruction is going to get done between now and then to add more chaos to the whole scenario?
Oh, there's a ton. Did you hear about the new variant that's coming out? I think it's called the midterm variant. So there's that.
Whoa. What happened to monkeypox? Monkeypox, like they're lining up out the door, and all of a sudden it's just like poof.
Yeah.
It's just like it was
Oh
gone.
man, we need a new one.
Well, but it didn't hold up. It just they go. Well, we need something, so they're digging deep. So what's gonna? I mean, we're a month away.
So I don't know if you've kept up with the news about the election software. Did you see that story? So
No.
the New York Times put out an article about QAnon people keep talking about this Connect company that they're connected to China and they were sending information to China. They're so crazy. How dare they? And it was True the Vote that actually put this information out. And would you know, less than 48 hours later, New York Times had to eat their words because the CEO of Connect got arrested in California. And it did turn out that they took all of the information of the poll workers and it was all connected to a server in China. So if they can do that with poll worker information, who else are they doing that with? And there were a ton of counties all over the country using this software. So, what's interesting is that as the news starts to develop, you see how much they're lying and they get away with it. And, the good thing is there are a lot of patriots in the country that are not allowing them to get away with it anymore. And as more and more people dig in and start researching and put their foot down, they're not going to get away with it much longer.
So what do you think is going to happen? I mean, we're all, saying that we should be able to wax their asses this time because of we're not going to let them get away with it. And there's been so much. It's like even there's Democratic people that are going, okay, I'm a Democrat, but this is ridiculous. I mean, they're driving us into the ground, which that's the way it needs to be. It's like, if it ain't working, let's switch. Let's get somebody who wants to work. I don't care who it is, but what do you think is going to be going down here? I think it's going to start getting pretty intense here soon. And
it is going to get crazy. I'm telling you, there is a lot of panic going on in DC right now. A lot of crazy things are going to happen. I mean, Joe Biden's already talking about nuclear Armageddon, right? So there's that. They're going to try to get people to do mail-in ballots, which in Delaware, I don't know if you heard about that this week, they, a Supreme Court judge just said, the Fifth Circuit Supreme Court just said that it's unconstitutional to do mail-in ballots. And this was in Delaware, Joe Biden's home state. So, that opens up the door for more states to push back on that and agree that, yeah, it's unconstitutional. But we, the people, are the ones that have to push for that. We have to hold our elected officials accountable because otherwise they don't do anything. And until we, FOIA requests, reach out to your sheriffs, go to True the Vote, go to all, do everything that you can, be a poll worker, make sure that you're watching these drop boxes that are also unconstitutional. If they're in your state, you need to be there making sure people aren't throwing things in there. And again, I don't know if I can talk about these kinds of things on YouTube, but there's so many things people can do, but they need to do it.
I had signed up because I'm in California, and I signed up to an organization that, like, it tells me that they got my vote, and and that they received it, and things like I can track my vote, which is a good thing. And those are the things they need to have. But it's really hard. I'm afraid that, like, because they're not doing anything to let this war calm down. They're throwing gas on the fire. And Zelensky's just like, yeah, screw it, nuclear war, whatever. And the United States isn't saying boo. They're not trying to de-escalate the whole thing. They're just, I'm afraid that they're going to cause so much havoc during the election to get away from the election and let everything. I don't know. I'm really in fear for this whole thing.
I will tell you, Peter, don't be afraid because this is I'll protect you. But I will say that is their narrative. They want people to be scared. And that's why I say that. Joe Biden saying nuclear Armageddon, that is to scare you. You've got people, when they say there's another variant coming, that is to scare you. They want people to stay home. They don't want people to go out and vote in person. And that is why you cannot believe them. You need to go out and vote in person. You need to do that.
Yeah, I can tell you, let me rephrase that, because I'm afraid for the people that are buying this shit. Well, that's what I'm afraid of, because I don't I'm over it now. And a lot of people, like I said, people that isn't it funny when you're talking with somebody and you're in agreement with them? It's like, whew, okay, at least I don't have to go through that with somebody else again. But yet you want to enlighten people because you're hoping to get one, but then again, they look at you, you're just as crazy. Like, they're a solid belief that you're nuts as we are. Is that, like, well, how do you not see this?
Well, that's the problem, Peter. I mean, I think people will do nothing until something personally affects them and it's too late. And I wish I was privileged enough to not be affected by any of this, but unfortunately, I'm seeing gas prices go up, my food bills going up, all of these bad things are happening. My daughter just started going to public school, and now I've got to be afraid that they're going to talk to her about things I don't want her to talk about. She's 6 years old. This is crazy. And you know what they said to me? Don't worry. We're holding it till she's 7, till second grade. Oh, thank God. They're not going to talk about sex to my 6-year-old, but you're going to do it when she's 7. It's unbelievable.
everything has gotten completely out of hand. I think it's just they want to do stuff just to do stuff. And it's like the clown patrol. They're going like, "Hey, you want a new job? And we can talk about whatever we want to talk about, and really take it seriously, even though it's stupid as hell. We're gonna take it seriously. And anybody who doesn't like them thinks that it's like get out of the gayborhood. I hear these people these Karens or whatever that go nuts, and it's like everybody. This shit's got to go away. It's gonna go away. We're gonna get sick of it and stop worrying about it. And these men can get pregnant and all that kind of stuff. It's like, what the hell are you on? And give me some.
Well, the other thing that I was talking about this week was the selective service. So there is a new push for influencers, and the White House is looking for volunteers to talk about the selective service. And that's why I hate talking about it, because I feel like I'm helping them. But I do want to bring awareness to the hypocrisy. The fact that they're now pushing for it. They want more people. You have to register if you're between the ages of 18 and 25, or you will be fined or jailed. But if you go on the website, it says that males between those ages must register. Females do not have to. And then there's a section for transgender people, literally says transgender people. And it says, if you were born a male and have transitioned to female, you must register. All of a sudden, the White House knows what a woman is. They are saying there are two genders, and this is okay now. I mean, have we moved on from that? And why is Leah Thomas still hold all of these records? I think she needs to give those trophies back.
It's nuts, and they're letting and people are and here's the thing, because I've talked about it with Pepsi a bunch when we do our my once a month blowout gripe session at the end of the month. It's really a very small percentage of the people making the noise about this and that, but they're really loud, and they make everybody feel like it's a much bigger percentage that's talking about this, but it really isn't. But it's working.
Media.
It's the media. Yeah.
The media can make you feel like you are all alone. And that's what's scary. I mean, today, and this is another controversial topic, Kanye West. Today, JP Morgan Chase told him he can no longer bank with them because of the comments he made on Fox News.
Well, he's an idiot. They're idiots then, because he's got a lot of money to bank with.
That's communism.
Well, whatever. You know what? I really used to think he was just nuts and obnoxious and this and that. I started gaining a lot more. My daughter has always said Kanye's is a genius. I got a 16-year-old that
got a
really
smart 16-year-old.
She's in tune with a lot of stuff. I don't influence her, and I listen to her because she's pretty on the money. And it's like he's really kind of he's not going with the program.
Right. But who told you that Kanye was crazy? Think about that, right? And that's the part. That's the thing people aren't realizing, is that anytime I've brought up Kanye West, most people will say, "Oh, he's crazy." I'm like, who told you he was crazy?
Well, it wasn't even told me. I just saw him on the Grammys and stuff when he jumped up there. When what's her name, Taylor Swift, won an award, and he got up there and kind of, I'm going, that's kind of rude. I don't like that kind of shit. But he definitely knows how to get attention.
And Trump was mean on Twitter, so there's that.
Yeah. People think mean any day. You can't be a nice. I mean, you can't be a world leader and be a softie. You just can't. Otherwise, we're going to end up like we're ending up right now in senile.
Right.
Here's the deal. We are running out of time. I told you it was going to go by real quick, and it is. Is there anything that's really near and dear to your heart in any of this subject matter that you want one more thing to talk about? And then, unfortunately, I wish we could always do a 3-hour show, and I'd say that with everybody, because we always have a lot of in-depth conversation. But is there anything that you really want to talk about? And I'll just let you talk about it.
So I will say this, and I actually pulled this up because I found this today on a podcast that I listened to, and there are a lot of things that are near and dear to my heart. But what I want people to remember, if they take nothing else from what I said, is when you do watch television or the news or read the latest thing that they want you to hear or Google things, right? I want you to remember the 7 stages of gaslighting, right? So 1 is to lie and exaggerate. So you're going to notice that there's going to be a lot of exaggeration if you haven't already, right? 2, repetition. So you're going to hear the same things over and over and over. escalate when challenged, right? They scream and call you racist. And then 4, wear out the victim. How many of us have felt worn out by the same thing being pushed over and over? 5 is form codependent relationships. We're the government and we're here to help, right? And then 6, give false hope. And they keep telling you there's no inflation. We're going to fix the gas prices. They're giving you false hope. And then 7, dominate and control. And that's where we are. And they are continuing to do that. And I just want people to remember these 7 stages as they go about their day, as they're seeing things. And maybe you'll start thinking for yourself, because what they've done is taken away your ability to think for yourself.
And that's a fact. And it's getting worse, and until you don't even realize you've lost all this stuff, and until it's too late. And really, what can you do about it besides, make yourself vocal to go, hey, we're on to you. But if you're just plowing through life and going, everything is great, they're doing a great job, and it's just a little bump in the road, bullshit.
Right.
Yeah. Well, look, it's been a pleasure to finally get you on this show. I hope sometime next year we can do this again, because we're already booked all the way through the year, and then but I want to have you back if you'll
next time with a Peter G cup, because I saw yours. I'm like, I need a Peter G cup. I'll send you one of these.
Look at Pepsi.
I was jealous. I felt left out. I didn't get a cup.
Baby steps, okay? Baby steps. I'm just thrilled to the fact that I got you on the show. I wish I could have you sitting next to me all the time, because you're a good addition, and you're smart and you're well spoken. I said it a million times, and I'll say it again. And when I believe in something, I believe in something. And I really did work hard to try to get your attention, to get you on this show, when I wanted to just say, "Oh, screw it. I can't understand how she's not seeing my comments or whatever." But everything happens for a reason, and now we are connected. So this is a good thing. I mean, because the future is going to get stronger and stronger. I promise.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so,
Best is yet to come.
Yeah, that's what I want to do real quick. And I forgot. God bless it. If you want it, if people, and don't take off, people, because I got that last clip at the end of the show I'm going to play of Defender of the Republic, Defender Girl. But if people want to see and find you, they can find you on Instagram at Defender of the Republic, with all those little underscores between each word, and TikTok, Defender of the Republic 2022. Correct.
And I will say, I did want to give one shout out. I know you're running out of time, but this shirt I'm wearing, someone actually made for me. It's realbase.art, and he actually gave me a promo code for your listeners. It's Defender22, all in capitals. But he's awesome. He actually drew this. It's me. So if you want a Defender shirt, you can go
see what I mean?
realbase.art and get yours.
You're already becoming a cartoon character. I mean,
exactly. See?
Wow, I got it. Okay, well, say that again one more time, because I don't have that on a banner.
Yep, realbased.art, and it's Defender22 is the coupon code, and it's all capital, Defender22.
Well, maybe when we make clips, you can take this clip and utilize it and all that, because, again, sometimes things blow over everybody's heads. But, again, if you want to follow Defender of the Republic, Defender Girl, you can find her on Instagram, and you can find her on TikTok. It's all right there. And
I got one more. Don't kill me.
Oh, okay.
One other thing is, if you do want to do your research, BidenLaptopEmails.com. You can see it for yourself.
On everything, or just that laptop stuff?
Everything. There's a lot of stuff on there. And if you want to see more, MarcoPoloUSA.org. I will put it all on somewhere for you.
Tonight's Peter G Show is sponsored by. It's all good. Again, we want people to do their homework, but that's the problem. Everybody's so busy, they just take what they hear and they run with it. And they go, "Well, it must be true." Sad.
Right.
I don't even trust my own physician anymore. It's like, because they're slacking and they're just being told stuff, and then they just say, "Well, they told me that this is what we need to do," and that's not necessarily true anymore.
Well, a lot were threatened, so unfortunately.
There you go. Somebody said that's a cool shirt. Yes, it's a cool shirt on a cool girl. But all right, so that's it. Listen, I love you for taking the time out. I know you are a hustler, and I respect that deeply. I mean, you got kids, you got work, and you are constantly on and putting out content, and I respect that a lot, because it's hard and it's tiresome and it wears you out. But
I don't sleep, so I get those bags under my eyes these days.
You're lucky you're young and it doesn't show. So it's you want to see what lots of years will do to you there.
Pepsi, poor Pepsi.
He knows I love him. It's just, but it's just like, if ever there's to be a trial case study on the human anatomy, it's this one right here. Pickle. So there you go. Exactly. Here we go. All right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, and last time, Defender of the Republic. You can find her on Instagram, Defender_of_the_Republic, or TikTok. She's on TikTok, and you're on a bunch of other places too. You're on Truth Social. Where else are you on?
Truth Social, YouTube, Rumble, Getter.
Okay, so basically, if they Google Defender of the Republic, they're going to probably find your face somewhere.
Hopefully, if Google allows it.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. We can make a 3-hour show. It's just the way it is. It's not. Anyway, okay. Listen. Again, thank you so much for your time, and we'll be in touch. And I hope everything works out. And I'll give you a call tomorrow, and we'll talk about this stuff.
Sounds good. Stay safe.
Again, yeah, thank you. But I appreciate your time. All right, there you have it, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Defender of the Republic, Defender Girl. Let me go get him. Don't forget, one more time, find her on Instagram, Defender of the Republic, and TikTok, and you can find her, and just Google it. I'm telling you, she's all over the place. She will not back down. What do you think there, Pepsi?
Yeah, great stuff, right?
She's good.
Yeah, right. Just we want to convey truth here, and just I don't understand why people won't do their own research, instead of relying on the on the TV.
Because we never thought we had to, so people don't start now.
Well, and she's right. This has been going on a long time. I mean, and you can read about it. It's in Project Mockingbird. So, but anyway, yeah, just great stuff. So.
Yep.
Defender. Well, I know I can't call her Defender Girl, but that's reserved only for you.
That's reserved only for me. That's right. Damn right.
But yeah,
I earned it.
Great stuff, right? I mean, just great stuff.
Yep. Yep. Speaking of great stuff, I want to tell everybody again, next week, October 19th, I'm going to have Patricia Fuqua on the show. She is a professional matchmaker and love coach, Pep. So you might want to pay a little extra attention on this because, because again, she's a love coach to the high-end achievers over 30. And again, you're high.
You're correct, sir.
It's like maybe we can find out what she can do for you. But,
yeah, we'll see. It'll be a great show.
She's going to be on the show. I mean, as we're entering the holidays, I want to talk about a lot of relationship stuff because, a lot of people are not in relationships. A lot of people have been in bad relationships. They're scared to be in a new relationship because, it sets you back some. And as you get older, you start, just not being as aggressive and out there as you, used to be. And nobody wants to hang out in bars. And I mean, it's just not, well, almost everybody doesn't want to hang out in bars. And, so things change, but she's going to be on Wednesday, October 19th. That's next week. Coming up, Wednesday, October 19th. Patricia Fuqua, professional matchmaker and love coach, going to be right here on this show, Pepsi.
Nice. Can't wait.
Damn exciting stuff.
Can't wait.
And as always, like you, don't forget to take the Peter G Show in the car, Peter G Show podcast. Google it. Listen if you can't watch the show, but I love the people that do take the time to watch the show because I think it's a little more stimulating, to see it. Like, Defender Girl was great, but it was great watching her and listening to her. But if you, push comes to shove, at least you're listening to the show.
Oh yeah, no, great stuff, and yeah, podcasts are a good thing, Yeah, yep. Great thing. Yep.
So anything you want to leave us with or anything, because it's getting to be that time to go.
Just always be kind. I know we're running out of time, but just always be kind. It doesn't cost anything to be nice to people. So namaste.
Namaste. You know what? Speaking of namaste, when I heard that a couple of people that were in Florida during the hurricane, they go, "Are you gonna evacuate for the hurricane?" And you go, "Namaste."
Who loves you, baby? Who loves you?
That's some southern humor right there.
Yeah, Right, but just seriously, though, seriously, we love all those people, and and for all those in distress, we're very compassionate about that, and so we wish them very well. So
they will survive. They will recover. They're Florida strong.
Absolutely. So namaste.
All right, namaste. Yeah. All right, I'll talk to you in a little bit here. I want to play this last clip of Defender Girl with the what if clip that she was talking about, and send our way out of here. So
yes, sir.
All right, good. I'll talk to you soon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I truly appreciate you tuning into the show. As Pepsi said, be kind. You don't have to take a lot of shit from people, but you don't have to be an ass either. Life is short, so make it count. I'm going to leave you with this clip, and then we're going to see you next week. As always, my name is Peter G. You're watching Life with Peter G, the Peter G Show, right here every Wednesday like clockwork, God willing. And this is a clip from Defender of the Republic. And again, take it with a grain of salt. But think about what she's saying, okay? Because a lot of people, I don't give a shit whether you hate Trump or like Trump. She's using it as an example. So check it out. And I love you guys. And as always, peace out.
What if Trump said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black? What if Trump's claim to fame was creating a policy that jailed more minorities for petty crimes than ever before? What if Trump never left his basement? What if Trump averaged 104 EOs per year? What if those first 42 EOs were in his first 4 months as president? What if Trump's public schedule showed he only worked 4 hours a day? What if Trump sniffed young children? What if Trump's sons had sex tapes? What if there were video of Trump's sons doing crack? What if his sons were never arrested for it? What if his sons illegally applied for gun permits? What if Trump's family had financial ties to foreign countries that wanted to hurt our country? What if Trump's campaigns were funded heavily by big tech, big pharma, and the CCP? What if Trump's children openly laundered money by becoming artists and selling art for more than Van Gogh or Picasso, and then told you they couldn't divulge who their buyers were? What if Trump fell down the stairs of Air Force One 3 times in one climb? What if Trump opened the borders to give free healthcare, food, housing, and education to any and everyone that wanted to come, but didn't require them to pay taxes? What if Trump allowed those coming across the border to do so with children that were trafficked in order to make it through? What if this happened during a pandemic and he didn't require them to get tested, vaccinated, or even social distance, but he mandated that you and your children do? What if Trump required federal employees to take an experimental vaccine? What if Trump allowed your local governments to muzzle your children for over a year with no significant numbers or science to back it up? What if he did all of this and mandated those passports for everyone? What if Trump abolished the Keystone Pipeline along with American jobs only to ask foreign entities to increase their production so we could fund them? What if under Trump and these changes, gas prices rose 41%? What if food prices rose 5%? What if car prices rose 41%? What if Trump wanted to defund the police while it was trendy to say so, but then changed his tune when he realized how ridiculous it was? What if Trump claimed during his campaigns he was going to send $2,000 relief checks, but he only sent $1,400 and said, well, hey, the other guy already gave you $600? What if Trump promised over 1 million jobs but didn't even come close? What if Trump's presidency was proven to be stolen by foreign interference and the media wouldn't even show you the proof? What if local leaders involved in that cover-up tried hiding and deleting the evidence? What if you wanted to talk about your thoughts on Trump, but social media deleted your words every single time? What if all of these things happened, but the media pretended it didn't happen and said what a great job he's doing? Well, I'll tell you this. Unfortunately, all of these things are happening under Biden. And if it were under Trump, you would know about it. The media would persecute him daily and would never stop. You would never stop hearing about it. But the truth is, because it's Biden and the corruption runs deep, the truth is hidden from you. Those of us that want to share these truths with you are censored. We the people, regardless of political affiliation, economic standing, or color, all share one common trait. We're all American. We're here because we stand for freedom, truth, and what's right for our future and the future of our children. May we all remember those that fought for us to have those rights, and may we continue the traditions that allow us to have them. Thanks for listening, and God bless America.
Peter G Show. Peter G Show. Divorced dad, single dad. Divorced dad, single dad. Peter G Show.